And good afternoon, good day, good evening, wherever you may be in our global viewing audience. You are watching USANow.tv exclusive coverage from the 5th annual Loudoun Conservative Gala. This is Saturday, May 14th, 2022, and we are coming to you live from Trump National Golf Club here with Patty Hidalgo Menders, and this has been a amazing 5 years for your organization. We're going to pan the camera around here in a little bit, and you can see the room. We're going to get a few words from Patty, and then we're going to be broadcasting tonight the speeches, including our Lieutenant Governor, Winsome Earl Sears. We are going to be hearing from Vince Colonnese from WMAL Radio, and of course Ian Pryor from Fight for Schools. A lot of dignitaries and special guests in the crowd tonight as well. Patty, let's start with you. Tell us a little bit about this event. What was the genesis of this event? What made you take on something this huge? And did you think when you started this 5 years ago that we'd be where we are today?
No. I started this event 5 years ago, and the reason I started it was I felt during the Trump administration that conservatives did not have a place, a voice. We were being harassed, we were being belittled, and I thought, you know what, once conservatives get together, they feel empowered, they feel encouraged. And so every year we've had it here at the Trump National Golf Club, and every year it just gets better and better. And this year we have 400 people, and it's a black tie, open bar. We've got a band dancing. We've got special speakers. We give a lot of money to charities and Republican candidates because the goal is to empower one another and support each other. And so I've lived here for 23 years, and the more conservatives in Loudoun get together, the more we can improve our community.
And the it's shifting, isn't it? The political climate is shifting. People are waking up. Parents, as we've seen, really Loudoun County is the epicenter and was the spark for this national parent movement. And I mean, my hat's off to you guys for everything that you've been doing, all of your friends and the various groups and the colleagues. Tell us about some of the groups that have been supportive of this event and this cause that are here tonight. Who are we going to hear from?
Okay. So you'll recall in the summer, Senator Dick Black, retired he was a Senate here in Virginia. He was the one that spoke out at the June 22nd school board to come support parents, and he caused such a ruckus that people clapped, and then they shut the school board down. And that was the pivotal point of parents taking back our schools. We realized we had a voice and we had support from people in the community. So today is a celebration of all the work that parents here in Loudoun have done, that Northern Virginia parents have done, and we want to celebrate Governor Youngkin, Lieutenant Governor Sears, our new Attorney General, and our House majority. We want to...
There they are. Yeah. It's exciting, and we have the Lieutenant Governor with us tonight. So excited to hear what she has to say and to meet her in person.
Yes, she's a friend of mine. Winsome Sears is a dear friend. She was so supportive of our movement here in Loudoun, and that's all you want is candidates and elected officials that listen to the constituents. That's what's most important.
Well, we need to get some other folks in here on the chair and get some interviews, but before we do, who are we looking at here? Yeah, let's hear from our award recipient.
Our donation recipient this year is ATI. It stands for Anti-Trafficking International. They're a local group here in Northern Virginia that does a lot of work to combat human trafficking through education. And I would love to bring up our ATI representative.
That'd be great. And we also have some slides. I want to thank the sponsors and the donors. So when we're done here, that would be great. Erin, right?
Yeah.
Erin Fisher, so we met earlier.
I'm with ATI.
Yes, absolutely. Well, I'm looking forward to you advising us as to what you folks do. Erin Fisher, thank you so much for coming in this evening. Tell us what it means to you to be the recipient, your organization to be the recipient of the funds tonight. This it's a grant, correct? Tell us all about that and where the money goes and why the folks out there in the viewing audience need to support ATI.
We're truly humbled by this opportunity. We're an anti-trafficking prevention organization. We are based out of Northern Virginia, but we have ties internationally. And the funds that we are raising today are going to go to prevention curriculum and community prevention events. Primarily, ATI looks at the human trafficking issue that's going on around the world in a way similar to how DARE was approached back in the 80s. If you all remember, there was a great deal of education that was out there about trafficking or about drug use and what drugs do. We talked about it as kids. We knew that commercial, that egg in the frying pan. You remember your brain on drugs, right? We don't teach our kids about trafficking, and they're not talking about it. They're not understanding what is at risk when they're on their phone and they're talking with people on their gaming stations. They don't understand how smart and how easily they can be groomed. And we're seeing it more and more in upper class neighborhoods and in areas in the United States where children are lonely. They're looking for friendships. They're looking for people to connect with. And the traffickers are one step ahead of all of us. So our prevention curriculum in schools is geared to train the child about healthy relationships, online safety, what grooming looks like. Gaslighting is one of their big terms now, how gaslighting is used to groom and trap somebody into a life of trafficking. We know that traffickers right now, human trafficking is second only to
Excuse me a second, sir. We let them know. Yeah, hey, I love a thumping party too, but the big brother of the YouTube is going to be scanning with their algorithms, and if they hear any copyrighted music, they'll strike the stream. So my apologies for my little, but we had to do it or it would have went down. Tell us, if you would, I think it's fascinating what you're doing. You're saying that you are actually developing curriculum, and as we know, well, there are a lot of movements out there that are developing curriculum and pushing curriculum that a lot of the folks in this room are absolutely diametrically opposed to. So I think it's wonderful to see groups like you doing what you're doing, worthwhile content. Tell us how the school system has reacted to this curriculum as you are out there promoting your works.
Right. So our curriculum right now is distributed over to 250,000 students across the United States. But we are working very hard to get it into every school district as possible as we can, because of events like this, we're able to do that because school districts are not necessarily willing to spend funds on a curriculum they don't see or understand the importance of. And we know, based on results from our curriculum that has been implemented into local school districts, that there are success stories. There are self-reporting instances of children who have the curriculum and know they're being groomed and trafficked. We know that we have saved other children from trafficking based on peer reporting. So our curriculum is very effective, and it is only through grants and sponsorships through organizations like this that we really can actively implement them, because schools do not have the funding to do it right now, or that's what we're told.
That's great. Well, God bless you for what you are doing. What do you think of this party? Quite an event. Yeah.
So, yeah, very good. Very awesome. Lots of great people here. Lots of people really care about what's happening in Northern Virginia and in our country.
I understand you came quite a ways for this, did you not?
I did. I came from Montana. So
wow.
I moved, but I lived in Northern Virginia for 25 years. It was time to move a little bit to a little bit more open land.
That's awesome. Congratulations.
Thank you so much. Thank you very much.
Absolutely. And anybody else that we have lined up? Senator Black here, I would love to have a word with him. If we can get his attention, that would be great. Senator.
Thank you so much.
There we go. Thank you so much, Aaron. And here we have, y'all know him and you love him. I know I fell in love with this guy the first time I saw him on a video at a school board meeting. Coincidence, right? Who would have thought? All these school board meetings and videos going viral. You, sir, you're a fireball. You went up there and you spoke truth, and it's an honor to meet you in person. So we have retired Senator Dick Black from, absolutely. Why don't you sit forward here a little bit? Sir, tell us what this movement means to you. When did you serve in office?
Well, I retired just 2 years ago. I've watched politics since I literally was a boy, and what is going on? There is a transformation taking place. It's incredibly powerful, incredibly dynamic. What is happening is not only have people in Loudoun County disclose what's going on in the public schools, the fact that you have teachers who are being required to lie in front of their classes. They're supposed to say that boys are girls, girls are boys. Irrational, insane. And so this has sort of been a shockwave that initiated right here in Loudoun County, and it has moved all across the nation, even in San Francisco. In San Francisco, they elected school board members, and the Chinese American community, which has always been low-key and not political, they came out and they swept from office 3 of these woke school board members with enormous margins, like 80%. They just wiped them out. So there's this tremendous thing happening, but also what is happening is that the inflation, I don't care whether you're Republican, whether you're Democrat, when your wife goes to the grocery store, or when you go to the grocery store, if you're the shopper, all of a sudden reality hits you. It doesn't matter.
It's affecting everybody.
That's right. And it doesn't matter what your ideology is, all of a sudden, the end of the week, you do not have money to pay the rent, the gas, the food. And as a consequence, I don't care who's in office, they're in trouble right now.
Well, let's talk about that. Primaries coming up here within the next week or so, right? The 21st, I believe, in our area. Fresh new crop of Republicans running. We just did some coverage from an event here in Loudoun County last week. You can watch that at usanow.tv if you're interested in learning about your candidates for the 10th Congressional District. Tell us your thoughts on the field and what you're seeing. Anything promising out there?
I think the field is very strong. I think we've got people who, all of whom, are head and shoulders above Jeanette or Wexton, Representative Wexton. I served with her in the Senate. I know her. She is a pleasant woman who is very woke, hardcore left. There is nothing too far to the left for Jeanette. Every single one of our candidates is considerably more common sense than she is. And so I'm expecting that we're going to have a great victory in the 10th, and people need to get out and vote for the candidate of their choice on May the 21st. I think it's going to be good. But what you're seeing across the nation is every one of these primaries, the Republicans are on fire. And if they have a primary, they're swamping the Democrats. They're coming out 2-1, 3-1. More people Republican than Democrat.
Oh, there is a tsunami coming, isn't there? I can't. I'm sure a lot of you feel the same. We can't wait for November.
I suspect that all of us are going to be absolutely stunned in November.
But will you? Will we really? I mean, don't we see this coming? People have had enough.
We see it coming, but it's kind of theoretical. We know it's coming, but it's sort of like what happened when Trump won the presidency.
Yeah, you could see it in building, but when it happened, it was kind of surreal, right?
That's right. You kind of knew, yeah, okay, it makes sense, but when it happened, wow, it just blew the roof off. Now this is going to blow the roof off much more so than what we had back then when President Trump won. So it's going to be sweeping. Now, it's going to be a challenge. The Republicans, it's not enough to win. They've got to make fundamental changes. They've got to end the wars. They've got to end the inflation, stop spending money. They've got to guard the border. The borders cannot go. We've got to back up our policemen on the beat. And it's not enough to stand and say, oh, you know, I back the blue. You got to get out there when there are specific police officers who are under attack by the left, and you got to stand up and you got to put your reputation between the mob and the police officer and defend them.
Wow, love it. That's what I'm talking about. There's that fire, there's that passion, there's that spirit. I don't care where you are, what economic strata you reside in, what your race is. I don't care about your sexual orientation. You do you, all right? But you know what? Get out there and get focused on the issues that really matter and that are going to turn this ship around. I mean, you can't turn an aircraft carrier on a dime, as we know. And man, things have been spinning out of control for a year and a half now. We got a long way to go. It's going to be a lot of work, and we need you out there, wherever you are listening. We need you to get involved, speak up, get involved. Do you miss being in office?
No, I'm very involved in things political, and it's sort of, it gives me the leeway to speak up in a very direct and blunt fashion. I watch some of the Republican conservatives who are being attacked, and I tell you, anybody who listens to the attacks on them is a fool. You need to watch what they do, how they vote. If they're conservatives, you back them. Disregard all of the garbage that's thrown out against them. So it gives me a chance to do this kind of thing and to back up conservatives in office. And that's, I want to save this country. I've got 16 grandchildren. I do not want them to die in a nuclear war that is started by Joe Biden and by the Democrat leadership.
Yeah, it really is astonishing, isn't it? We've got how many billions of dollars to contribute to this mess over there, and our own people can't find baby formula on the shelf.
That's right. Here we are. We're bringing in all of these illegal aliens. Now, here's the thing you need to remember. The federal government will make sure every illegal is housed in an apartment, in a small house or whatever, in a trailer. Usually it's the bottom level stuff. But what happens? All of a sudden, you've got mom and dad who are on Social Security. They've got to compete with Joe Biden's federal government. He's going to kick them out of their home and put them in a cardboard box so he can put some illegal alien in their place. And we got to stop that. And I tell you, the Republicans, when they get in, They better move fast or the people are going to get fed up with them too.
Senator Dick Black, it was a real pleasure. Honored to meet you in person, sir. Thank you so much.
God bless you. Great to see you. We're going to have a...
There you go. He's got a fan club over here. I know I'm a fan. Yeah. Whoever, come on over, folks. Come on over. Folks, if you just tuned in, Rich, you coming up?
Come tell him what a great job I do.
I will defer to this gentleman. I will defer to this gentleman.
All right. I will. So here's our slate.
What a great job.
We have exclusive coverage of our amazing Lieutenant Governor Winsome Earl Sears speaking tonight, along with Ian Pryor from Fight for Schools and Vince Colonnese from WMAL Radio. And real quick, we want to thank our sponsors. We'll throw them up on the screen here and let you know who contributed to this event. Great stuff. And of course, it took a lot of work to put on a party like this. What do you think? You know what? I don't even know your name, do I? I'm sitting here, I'm going to interview somebody I don't even know. What's your name, sir?
Patty pulled me in here. My name is Rich Anderson. I'm chairman of the Republican Party of Virginia. Okay.
Yes?
Yes.
I met a lot of people and I've been blasting around very fast. I'm like, very nice to meet you. I'm going to be live in like 30 seconds. So here's my card. If you want to talk, come on over here. And here you are.
Yeah, it's good to be here. This is great. Patty Menders, who's the mastermind behind this, has just done a great job. All these great Loudoun County conservatives together. I couldn't be more pleased as the state party chair.
Well, that's amazing. Tell us about what you see. Dick Black was really excited about the November elections, as we all are, and he seems to think that we're going to be shocked. Are we going to be shocked? I mean, can't we see what's happening, and haven't the American people had enough? I mean, is the pendulum finally going to swing back?
I think they have. As the state party chairman, I am also a member of the Republican National Committee. I just got back from an RNC meeting, and we were briefed. The Republican Party right now is polling higher than it ever has in the history of polling. We have been outraising the Democrat Party. And so there's significant forces underway, and it's simply because the Democrats have gone too far, too fast on too many things. And the American people, and specifically here in Virginia, are ready for a change. So I look forward to November with great optimism, but here's the key. We have to work this as if we're 20 points down. And Republicans all across Virginia are working it like we're 20 points down. We're not. But if we work it that way, we will prevail on November 8th.
Now, we just did a webcast last week, I believe it was, for the 10th Congressional District, the new field of candidates. What do you think about what we're seeing out there? Some great prospects. Everybody that was up on the stage was fabulous.
They're great. We have a great field. I get to see the vista of candidates we have all around the state in each of our 11 congressional districts. We have had record turnout in terms of individuals who have run for office. What that does is that informs the electorate, it energizes the Republican base, and it brings forth new and reinvigorated talent. And so I believe we're going to do very well in November. I sincerely do. Plus, at the end of all this, we will have a huge number of Republicans who have run for office, who have come out of that imbued with a skill set. So they're on the bench, ready to run for a future office if they make it this go round. That's how you build a bench, and that's how you win elections.
Absolutely. I love it. Sir, very nice to meet you.
Thank you.
Oh,
right.
they are getting going. So we are going to go ahead and switch to the stage. Thank you so much. Maybe we can come back afterwards. Richard, very nice to see you.
Want me to come in now?
Well, I think they're getting ready if you got a minute.
Yeah.
So real quick, we got to get going to the stage here for our keynote, our speakers. If you would like to give us a quick word, tell us who you are and your thoughts on this event.
Richard Rankin, it's a great event. The weather couldn't be any better. We're going to have a lot of celebrities here tonight. The attendance is out of the world, and I think we're looking for a very successful evening here.
And I think we're going to go to the main stage here for our first speakers.
Would you please welcome Jerry Darby to sing the national anthem?
There we go. I'm going to go ahead and go to the main stage here. Oh, he's off camera. Where is he? There he is.
Still there. Whoa, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Okay, we're going to go back.
Yeah,
Definitely. We will talk. Okay, we need to stop the interviews now. We're going to go ahead and go to the main stage for our main speakers.
Welcome to the 5th annual Loudoun Conservative Gala. I'd like you all to come forward, please. Come on up. Anybody in the back, come on forward. My name is Patty Hidalgo Menders, and I'm your gala organizer. I'm thrilled you've joined us for a fun evening here at the beautiful Trump National Golf Club. There's got to be a way those people can come forward and give me a little attention. Hello, can you hear me? Doug Menders, come forward. Annetta Catchings, come forward. Anybody else I need to call on? John Beatty, I see you, come on. I need all my friends to come forward. There you go. Did I wake them up? So I'll start again. I'm Patty Menders, and I'm your gala organizer. In 2018, I kicked off our very first Loudoun Conservative Gala, and in 2019, I formed a PAC called the Loudoun Conservatives Care. Our mission is to promote social events for conservatives right here in Loudoun County. We raise money to support Republicans running for office and local charities. At this time, we'd like to recognize any military and veterans. Can you please raise your hand? Thank you so much for your service. Loudoun County and our country is appreciative. We have a lot to celebrate tonight. The last 2 years, Loudoun County parents have shown courage and pushback against this progressive Loudoun County School Board. Now, if only they could get rid of Superintendent Ziegler, then we'd really be happy. Our goal was to receive transparency and get back to academics. But no, this school board had different ideas. We want our children to be safe, and we want them to learn. I'd like to thank the courageous Loudoun County parents and Northern Virginia residents that made a difference. We truly showed up and did the work. Our issues with education were heard around the country, and our Virginia candidates supported us. At this time, we need to put a round of applause for our new governor, Glenn Youngkin. Myers. And our new Attorney General, Jason Miyares. And not only that, we have a majority in the Republican House of Delegates. At this time, I'd like any political candidate running for office to come on the stage. Please come forward. I'm going to mention your name. If you guys could please come forward. I didn't meet you. What are you running for?
County Executive in Montgomery County.
Montgomery County, thank you. Oh, Suzanne, good. Any other candidates? Awesome. All right, we're going to start from out of state. I know that Vivian's here. Where's Vivian? Can somebody get Vivian Childs? She's sitting in that back corner. All right, I'm going to start. Tell me again.
Reardon Sullivan.
Reardon Sullivan.
Yeah, my name is Reardon Sullivan, and I'm running to be the county executive in Montgomery County, Maryland.
We got Maryland, we got Georgia. Vivian Childs is running for Congress in District number 2. Thank you, Vivian. We've got a mayor candidate. Suzanne Fox is running for Leesburg mayor. We must get rid of Kelly Burke. We must get rid of her. All right. Excuse me. I see some school board guys down there. Harry Jackson is going to run for Fairfax School Board. Town Council. Colin Doniger's running for Leesburg Town Council. And you might have heard there's a race right here in the 10th for Congress. And we have a lot of them here. So I'm going to start over here. Caleb Max. Brooke Taylor. John Henley. Mike Clancy. The tall guy in the back, John Beatty. We got Hung Chow. And let's go Brandon Machad. I am so proud. These are the people you are going to have a difficult choice deciding on. And I want to thank each of you because God said, I got to run, just like I had to make this happen in Loudoun. So thank you, all of you. Thank you so much, candidates. This is so impressive that we have that many here tonight. Now, they don't need to come forward, but I have a lot of people to thank for making this night happen. Our amazing volunteers, Mary Campbell and Maria Stanton, our silent auction coordinators. Lisa Braham, Kathy Darby, Shannon and Drew Grinstead, Kimberly Mingo, Rosario McKinney, Lori Castanguay, Janae Kaufman, Lynn Dye Kendall, Gina Birch, Elena Cordova, Doug Menders, and Joe Stanton. Thank you, volunteers. We have special guests in attendance. I'd like them to come forward. Could the Honorable Frank Wolf please come forward? Sheriff Chapman. Andre Soriano. Rich Anderson, RPV chair. All right, they don't want to come forward? Okay. Senator Black. Come on. And one of our Virginia 10 candidates for Congress, she was a little late getting here, Teresa Coates Ellis. And Shockett, former President president of the National Federation of Republican Women is here. And Luke Rosiak, the author that brought the sexual assault to the public. So thank you, gentlemen. Thank you so much for being here. Let's take a quick photo.
All right, who's taking photos?
Thank you so much for your patriotism and all of your help. Thank you. Thank you. I'd like to recognize all of our sponsors. So there's a lot of them. If you could hold your applause. Our gold sponsor is Dr. Lorna Gladstone and Kent Gladstone. Thank you. Matt Archer was one of our special last-minute sponsors this morning. Thank you, Matt. Our silver sponsors, Free America PAC, Emord and Associates, Moms for America, Spirit of VMI PAC, the Justice Society, Op-Ed Solutions, Parallel Wine and Whiskey Bar, Dr. Ike Lands, DDS, Matthew Chappelle, Brooke Taylor, and John Henley. Thank you so much. Our bronze sponsors for this evening, Fight for Schools, Brian Burkhart, Sebastian and Katie Gorka, Freedom Works, AFA Action, Art Lock, Maid Brigade, Any Lab Test Now, Janine Lawson, Mike Clancy, Teresa Coates Ellis, and John Beatty. Can you hear me in the back? Hello? I really could use a glass of water. Does anybody have a water bottle? Oh, steal it from the band. Awesome. Thank you. I'll take it without the lid. All right, let's get going. A special thank you. We have a cigar station outside sponsored by the Northern Virginia Republic Business Forum and SUV GOP. So if you want a cigar, head on outside. And the Family Foundation is also a big sponsor. All right, we could not do tonight without our vendors, which many of them were pro bono. Sam Etaro from Nova Now TV. Thank you, Sam. WMAL is here. You need to talk to the band if you can't hear me. Mike Smith, thank you for your graphics. The Darby Brothers Band, which you'll hear in just a little bit. Our wonderful violinist was Dr. Marjorie Serrano-Coyer. Our photographer is Leslie Wilson. Art Ghost is with GoMac Silent Auction. Please bid on the silent auction items. Deborah Marshall's with AmFund. They have been with us from day one. They're with American Fundraising and Trump National Golf Club. Don't forget, when you win your bid on the silent auction, please text LCC auction to the phone number in your program. Now, I'd like to introduce our first speaker, Ian Pryor. Can you hear me? I have this problem every year. The drunks in the back don't listen. Ian Pryor is a senior advisor at America First Legal and the executive director of Fight for Schools. He has previously served as the principal deputy director of public affairs in the Trump Department of Justice, communications director of Senate Leadership Fund, and national spokesperson for the National Republican Congressional Committee. Before this, he was an attorney in New England. But guess what? I know Ian as my unwavering co-leader of our parent movement here in Loudoun County. Thank you, Ian.
Thank you, Patty. You know, I was here a year ago, and the Commonwealth of Virginia looks very different right now than it did a year ago when we were here. You know, a year ago, we were collecting recall signatures. Stacy and Jason are here somewhere. They had a station right over there, and they were collecting recall signatures. I don't know, we had a couple, maybe 1,000 at that point. Well, we got 25,000 of those now. We have one school board member that's no longer a school board member. We have 2 more school board members who I would say are probably actually the worst of the lot. They're in court a week from Monday in our removal proceedings for motions. Last year at this time, candidate Winsome Sears spoke. This year, Lieutenant Governor Winsome Sears is speaking. Last year at this time, Terry McAuliffe was a heavy favorite to win the governorship over Glenn Youngkin. This year, Glenn Youngkin is sitting in the governor's office, and Terry McAuliffe is a political punchline for the rest of his life. And last year, we had Attorney General Mark Herring running cover for the Loudoun leftist mafia. This year, we have Jason Miyares and a grand jury. So a lot has changed, and you know, I do wonder if our adversaries on the left have gotten the message. And that message being, look, if you come after parents that are going to school board meetings to speak up for their children, and then you try and put yourselves in between those parents and their children, you are going down. Now, I just want to update people a little bit on where we are with the removal process. There's some good news and some bad news. The good news is Buddha Bibrai recused herself from the Atusa Reeser removal case because apparently they're both members of the Loudoun Bar Association. Yeah, that's not really the conflict, but sure. And we are going to try and disqualify her in the case against Brenda Sheridan. But here's the problem we have. The judge appointed a Commonwealth attorney to serve as the backup or the lead attorney in the Reeser case. And this is somebody from Charlottesville who Buddha Bibrai has endorsed, is a part of the Progressive Prosecutors for Justice. So, look, we know how that's all going to go. We know they're going to try and Fairfax us. But to try and Fairfax us and go out there and voluntarily dismiss this case is extremely dangerous. Because we are talking, as part of this removal, about a case where you either have an intentional cover-up of sexual assault or you have reckless indifference to the safety of our students. So I'm going to give you all a little bit of a preview of some new information that I've found we'll make sure that everybody knows about this. We all know that Scott Ziegler, the superintendent of Loudoun County Public Schools, at a school board meeting said that I'm not aware of any records of sexual assaults in Loudoun County Public Schools. Well, that was false because he told the school board the day it happened. Obviously, that led to a second situation, which Luke Rosiak, as Patty mentioned, reported on. And what we've heard from Superintendent Scott Ziegler is this: it's not my fault. I couldn't do a Title IX investigation because law enforcement was investigating and law enforcement didn't let me know. Well, that's very interesting because I sent a Freedom of Information Act request to Loudoun County Public Schools, and I've never released this. I've had it in my possession for a while now. On August 26th, Juvenile Court Services Unit emailed Loudoun County Public Schools about the Stonebridge assailant. Now, the Court Services Unit of the Juvenile Justice Division does not get involved unless there's a court proceeding, unless the investigation is over. So for Scott Ziegler and Loudoun County Public Schools, what did they do after this call on August 26th? Nothing. They did nothing. They did not investigate. They didn't do a single thing until October. How do I know that they didn't do anything until October? Because I've got an email from Ashley Ellis. And what is the email from? Ashley Ellis is responding to the Virginia Department of Education. Why is she responding? Because Loudoun County Public Schools had a state law obligation to report sexual assaults to the VDOE. They missed the deadline by 4 weeks, and they finally submitted it on August 13th, 2 days after they passed 8040. But what they didn't do was put the Stonebridge sexual assault on there. So that means for a month and a half, Loudoun County Public Schools did nothing. I also have learned that juvenile court services followed, this is what they said in response to my FOIA, they followed the law, which means they reported to Loudoun County Public Schools that there was a court proceeding where somebody from the schools was being charged with sexual assaults. But Loudoun County Public Schools didn't do anything. What else did I learn? Well, I learned that the individual that was fired by Loudoun County Public Schools in January for not doing his job is getting paid $8,000 every 2 weeks from Loudoun County Public Schools. So this person has been paid $64,000 since they fired him in January. Why would you pay somebody $8,000 every 2 weeks if you fired them for failing to do their job? I don't know, you tell me. The other thing I learned is that when I hear Scott Ziegler and Ian Sirotkin talking about, well, our hands were tied on Title IX because of Trump and Betsy DeVos. Well, these people had a Title IX revision policy sitting in committee for 2 years before they finally passed it in January of this year. It took them 2 years to pass the Title IX policy. It took them 4 months to pass 8040. It took them 4 months to gut the admissions process at the academies of Loudoun. Lastly, very interesting, on August 10th, Jessica Smith, the mother of the girl that was the victim at Stonebridge, was scheduled to speak at the Loudoun County School Board meeting. She did not show up, but Brenda Sheridan called her name. No one showed up. Scott Ziegler writes a note, walks it over to Brenda Sheridan. I sent a Freedom of Information Act for that note. They didn't give it to me. They didn't say it's exempted. They didn't say attorney-client privilege. They just ignored my request. So what are they hiding? Did they destroy the note? Because that's a problem. Public officials cannot destroy public records beyond just FOIA. So these are some of the details that we've seen, and I'm sure the grand jury has seen. So I ask you all, is it an intentional cover-up? Is it reckless indifference? Is it gross negligence? It doesn't matter. Either way, they have failed at every step of the way. So look, a lot of things are happening now that are out of our control. From the removals to the grand jury process to whether the State Board of Education decides to remove Scott Ziegler. But our fight is not over. We obviously have the elections in November of 2022, and yeah, look, we got to fire Jennifer Wexton. And we have the elections of 2023, the Board of Supervisors, Julie Briskman, Phyllis Randall, Buddha Bibrai as Commonwealth Attorney, and the Loudoun County School Board. So we have to keep our fight going because it's not over. In fact, the way I see it, we have only just begun. But as we engage in this battle, we need to remember a few things. We are not in the business of lying, of calling names. We are not in the business of breaking the law. We are not in the business of hating our opponents. That clouds our vision. We are in the business of the truth. We are in the business of justice. We are in the business of winning. So let's go run up the score.
Thank you, Ian. I don't think he paid attention to me sitting right next to him, did he? But you know what? That was Ian and I was the one that organized, and he got to speak, and he fired me up tonight, did he not? Woo! I can't stand this superintendent more now than ever. He needs to be gone from our schools. Our next speaker is Vince Colonnese. Vince is the host of WMAL's The Vince Colonnese Show every afternoon from 3 to 6 p.m. As a journalist and longtime listener, Vince knows firsthand how essential it is to keep listeners updated on the drive home with The Vince Colonnese Show. It's a legendary show with an important mission: engage, amuse, and inform Washington, D.C. We know Vince as the radio host that supported us parents in Northern Virginia and gave us all a platform to share our concerns with our schools. Come on up, Vince.
Thank you so much, Patty. Let's hear it for Patty, huh? Patty Hidalgo Menders, she is tireless, she's a patriot, and she's been fighting for and winning for families across Loudoun County and across the country, ultimately. Thank you. Thank you very much for that. Oh my gosh. Well, good evening. It's such a privilege to be here with all these great Loudoun County conservatives. How about that Ian Pryor, huh? That guy. Yeah. I'm glad he's on our side. I really am. And also, let's hear it for Buddha Biberai. Oh, there it is. I was waiting. I was just checking to see if you're awake. By the way, she's probably spying on us right now, so I figured I'd say hello. Hello, Buddha. Hi there. She's always keeping an eye on you conservatives in Loudoun. You know, I'm not sure if you realize this, but you Loudoun County conservatives, you have a couple things in common with Joe Biden. Did you know this? I'm going to tell you, it's true. No, it's true. For instance, over the last few years, your kids spent way too much time on their laptops. Joe Biden's kid did that too. A lot. He was on his laptop a lot. You know, also, the government is doing its best to keep you away from your children. Joe Biden's not allowed near children. So that's a similarity. Also, when it comes to recalling politicians, there's nobody trying harder than Loudoun County conservatives and Joe Biden. That guy's still working on recalling whether it's his wife or his sister. Yeah. No, it's true. You like those? I wrote those this afternoon. You know, Lieutenant Governor Winsome Sears is apparently in the house. Is she? Yeah. It's a total thrill to be here tonight with her in the same room. You know, the great thing about inviting Lieutenant Governor Winsome Sears to an event like this is it makes sure the press doesn't cover it at all. They're not interested in covering Winsome Sears. Do you remember when she won? The USA Today headline was, "Candidates of color racking up election wins in historic results." And guess whose name did not appear in the piece? Yeah, that's right. Lieutenant Governor Winsome Sears. Yeah, bonus points if you guessed Virginia Attorney General Jason Miyares. That did not appear in the piece as well. That's my, I love that. By the way, my second favorite thing about Lieutenant Governor Winsome Sears, and I'll get to my first in a moment, is that when the media finally admitted that she was the first black woman to win statewide office in the Commonwealth of Virginia, she replied with the following quote. I'm serious. Quote, "So I make history, so what? It's done. And now the people want to know is, how are you going to govern?" Yeah, I like that. I like that. I love Winston. So my first favorite thing about her is she and her husband, Terrence, are both United States Marines. Yeah. You know, I'm the son of a Marine Corps general. Some of you may know that. I have a special affinity for the Corps. That's the world that I grew up in. And now notice I don't refer to them as former Marines because the 35th Commandant of the Marine Corps, Jim Amos, made it official Marine Corps policy. This is what he said. Quote, "There's no such thing as a former Marine. You're a Marine, just in a different uniform. And you're in a different phase of your life. but you'll always be a Marine because you went to Parris Island, San Diego, or the hills of Quantico. And in Lieutenant Governor Sears's case, she stood in those yellow footprints in the swamp that we know as Parris Island, South Carolina. And she raised her hand and she swore an oath to the Constitution, and that would not be the last time that she would raise her hand to swear that oath. Thank you to them and to all who serve. God bless you. You know, it feels nice to say Lieutenant Governor Winsome Sears. That's why I keep saying it. I really enjoy that. Not to mention Attorney General Jason Miyares and, of course, Governor Glenn Youngkin. Yeah. That's a dramatic improvement from Governor Blackface, Lieutenant Governor Sexual Assault Allegations, and Attorney General Blackface. Yeah. And you know what? It wouldn't have happened if it weren't for the people who are in this room tonight. This room tonight. You know, there's a reason Governor Youngkin held his final rally right here in Loudoun County. He knew that without the fight that you all are putting up, Virginia would be looking at another 4 years of horror. And while we're on the subject of the campaign, you know Terry McAuliffe, you remember that guy? Could he have been any dumber as a candidate? I mean, think about this. He literally declared, quote, "I don't think parents should be telling schools what they should teach." Terry, you're not supposed to say that out loud. That guy even spent his final rally with the loathsome Randy Weingarten on stage, who more than anybody fought to keep your kids out of school and destroy their learning. You know, recently, a colleague of mine asked me about Loudoun County and Fairfax County, Northern Virginia. And he said, why are the schools in Northern Virginia so obviously insane? Are they just uniquely awful, or is it that schools everywhere have been infected by this? And did we just happen to notice it in Northern Virginia? It's a good question. You know what the answer is? It's happening everywhere. But there's something special about the parents and the concerned citizens right here in Loudoun County. And when history looks back on this moment, you know what they'll say? Loudoun fought back first. Loudoun fought back first. You know, the media likes to claim it's conservatives who are waging a culture war. Have you heard that before? That's a lie. The left is waging the war. We're finally fighting back. You know, when we thought the attacks were only happening to us as adults, the truth is we shrugged it off. We were too busy with our own lives, weren't we? To be engaged in political nonsense. Occasionally we get fired up over taxes or government takeovers of the healthcare system. But for the most part, we didn't need the hassle. We'd show up to vote every couple of years, and we'd feed our families the rest of the time. But while we were busy tending to our lives, what were they doing? They were going after our borders, our town square, our universities, our corporations, our churches, our schools, everywhere in between. You know, normal people everywhere routinely bowed to the will of the leftist mob. The mob exploited their fundamental decency to advance their radical agendas. "You're not heartless, are you?" they would screech. "No, no, not me." "You're not a bigot, are you?" they would howl. "No, I wouldn't dream of it." It was moral blackmail. And for too long, conservatives fell for it. Conservatives treated their political opponents the way they wanted to be treated, by showing grace and decency and humility. "Just leave me and my family alone. We won't have any trouble," we thought. And the left, what did they do? They got drunk on power, didn't they? For instance, government lockdowns. What did Ralph Northam do to the churches? He shut them down. The churches were shuttered. The liquor stores stayed open. He wasn't alone. Democrat governors everywhere brazenly trampled on our God-given rights without a second thought, always testing what they could get away with, and they got away with a lot. But then they came for our kids. You know, the school shutdowns were disastrous for the education of our kids. And they gave us a chance to look under the hood at what was really going on inside these schools, and what we found horrified us. Our children were being told this: their sex is irrelevant, and their race is essential. America itself was founded on tyranny rather than liberty. Our children own the sins of history. Teachers like Tanner Cross were told what pronouns they could say in class, regardless of whether or not it could violate their conscience. Little girls who spent their school-age years training for the top tiers of athletic competition, they suddenly found themselves losing to male competitors. And even worse, as you know, as Ian mentioned, some girls were being sexually assaulted in the schools. Administrators and county officials were covering it up. And when the father of one of those girls, Scott Smith, attempted to speak up, what happened to him? He was arrested, humiliated for the national media's enjoyment. And you were supposed to sit there and take it. But you didn't. You didn't take it. You went to work. And here's what you did. You filled those school board meetings to the brim. You spoke up for your liberties in the face of tyranny. You got arrested for nothing more than using your voice. You began the Herculean work of recalling Democrat officials in a Democrat-rigged system. And you forced a school board member to resign. You threw out the Democrats who were destroying the Commonwealth. You replaced them with Republicans who you expect to keep their word. And as you did it, you captured the attention of the nation. You inspired normal people everywhere. This is a fight that they should be in, and a fight that they can win. Thanks to your work, Loudoun County, Virginia, is now synonymous with democracy overcoming tyranny. And as you well know, there is so much more work to be done. But tonight, on behalf of every American who's inspired by you, we celebrate how far you've come. God bless you all.
That was incredible, Vince. Thank you so much. Listening to Vince, it made me think how many times we have been in front of that damn school board. Do you know, I've been in front of that damn school board 12 times. Did they listen to me? No. And that is why we have our next guest. Winsome Earl Sears is a native of Kingston, Jamaica. She immigrated to the United States at the age of 6. She is proud to have served in the United States Marine Corps. In addition to her various appointments, I can't even get it out. They're so excited about you. All right, everybody, this is my friend Winsome Sears. During the campaign trail, Winsome listened to us. She supported us. She heard our pleas to protect and have a good education for our children. Please give a hearty welcome to our favorite amazing patriot, Lieutenant Governor Winsome Earl Sears. You did?
Well, how's everybody doing? You sound like you have something to celebrate. I know, we just won the election, right? And now, as a result of winning the election, all the other states now know what to do and what not to do. Because they tried it here, it didn't work, and it's not going to work elsewhere either. Because we showed them that when you listen to parents, when you listen to the people, when you don't stoop to stupidness, I mean, when common sense says, you know what, these Republicans, I think we can work with these guys. And so she gets up and she comes back into the building. That's what's happening. We are bringing common sense back, and we couldn't have done it without you. We couldn't have done it without your votes, without your money, without your feet. We couldn't have done it. You get the credit for this, so thank you very much. Thank you. Yes, take a bow. Let me tell you, exciting things are happening. First of all, I want to recognize some of the people in the audience. I'm not going to be able to recognize everybody, but we have former Senator Dick Black here with us, as you all know. And he supported me so long ago, 20 years ago, when nobody gave me a chance of winning, and we won. Thank you very much. And then, of course, Patty, and I see some of the others, and I'm going to stop. I better stop. I'm going to miss some people. But folks, we're doing some really good things here. You may have seen that Supreme Court justices are not protected. And yes, I mean, is this America or is this mob rule? Apparently. But we're not going to stand for it. And that's why I put it directly to the president that it's all fun and games until somebody gets hurt. And then he's going to need somebody to write a script for him blaming somebody else. And you know, he's the commander-in-chief. He's the president. And you don't sit in the big chair if you're not going to accept the responsibilities. It's really that simple. So you all may know that they're calling me a white supremacist. But you see, when they've run out of ideas, when they run out of solutions, when they run out of divisive ploys, they resort to name calling. But you know who's not buying it? The people aren't buying it. Because that kind of dangerous rhetoric has to stop. And the people are sick and tired of being sick and tired of that kind of nonsense. So, we're bringing back our police, our law enforcement, because a strange thing happened on the way to the arena. They figured out that black folks want the police. Yes, it's the elite that don't want the police, because apparently they speak for us. And they tell us that they're the tolerant ones. They tell us that they love everybody more than we do. And then we find out, no, they only love you as long as you agree with everything they agree with. You vote the way that they want you to vote. You love the people that they want to love. I mean, like, wait a minute, when did you become my God? I mean, that position is already taken. And how about our great governor, Glenn Youngkin? I think the other side, they've finally figured out that the branding that they're trying to do against him ain't working. It's not working. They know why we don't have a budget. They know that it's the other side that's keeping us from having a budget. Why? Because I gotta tell you, well, let me just keep it up here. But it was said they don't want to give the governor a win. Excuse me, a win with my money, my tax dollars? You don't want to give the governor a win? Is that what this is about? Taxes are a game to you? Really? No. How about you get together in the room, you sit down, you figure out the budget so you can go home, so you can finally go home and no more mischief. Isn't that why we elect people? Absolutely. But no, they're playing games. But I tell you what, the first thing they did when the governor called us back after 10 days of no action, the first thing they did was to pass a resolution so that they would be paid. They made sure that they get paid for a job that they should have done in 60 days, that they didn't get done. If you and I did that, we'd get fired. So we've got some elections coming up. How about it? And then when it comes to education, I'm so glad you asked about that. So I'm trying to figure out, apparently parents don't want to buy what the government is selling. I think that's what it is. You want your children to know how to read and write, do math and science, etc. And leave the rest of the stuff to us, the parents, to figure it out. We don't pay you for anything else. And you know who's also upset about what they have to teach? Teachers. Teachers just want to teach the ABCs, the 1, 2, 3s. That's all. And that's why so many of them are leaving in droves, because they don't want indoctrination. They want an educated workforce. So we're not buying what they're selling. Here's what I say. I say, how about the government give me my money so I can decide where my child should go to school? That's what I say. Why don't we want competition in education? Why don't we want it? I looked at a city council member the other day, and I said to her, when I was door knocking, no matter where I was door knocking, public housing, wherever, the parents said to me, I want to decide where my child should go to school. What should I say to that mother in public housing? And the city council person said to me, we just need more money in the schools. That ain't what she said. She said she wants to educate her child the way that she wants to educate her child. Well, I don't know. Yes, here's what we do. We get a constitutional referendum going that says the money follows the child and not the brick building. Because I would love it if when you came to my zip code, you could only use my business and my business only, but that's not the way the world works. Competition is what gets our economy going. Competition helps the best rise, and we need competition in education. And I'm gonna finish with this. Today, to start off my morning, I spent time with the Gold Star families of the 2nd Marine Expeditionary Brigade. These families lost Marines in Afghanistan. And what do I say to these mothers and fathers and these children who were born who never met their fathers? I try to encourage them, to tell them that their labors were not in vain. Their sacrifices weren't in vain. And among other things I said to them is this quote from John Kennedy, and it's this: let every nation know, whether it wishes us well or ill, that we shall pay any price, share any burden, meet any hardship, support any friend, oppose any foe, in order to assure the survival and the success of liberty and the survival of America. That's why it was true then and it is true now. America must survive. America will thrive. We will overcome. We will overcome. We will overcome. God bless you all.
You like that dress? We have a special award for you tonight. The Moms of Influence by Moms for America. You are the mom of influence. And Moms for America support you. So do the moms of Loudoun County. If I could also have Vince and Ian come up, we're going to take one quick picture.
Where's my husband?
Come on up. We would like Mr. Sears to step forward. Terrence, right? And Julianne, she's right there. Hi, Terrence, how are you? Now he can finally enjoy an event with his wife. All right, everybody look forward, please. Awesome job. Awesome job. Win some Sears, everyone. Thank you, Winsome. Thank you, Vince. Thank you, Ian. This concludes our speaking part of the gala. We would love for you to continue mixing, networking, mingling, especially dancing. We're going to have the Darby Brothers Band in just a few minutes. We also have the silent auction up for bid. Have a great night.
Check, 1, 2. Okay. And there you have it. Room is getting raucous. Wow, that was a challenge. A lot of people wanting to get around the stage here to see our speakers tonight. Let me take these headphones off. If you're just tuning in, or if you have been tuning in, I want to thank you. My name is Sam Otero, usanow.tv. And of course, my production company, Red Sea Media, making all this happen tonight. We want to thank everybody for the opportunity to serve and to be able to bring you this event coming to you from the great Trump National Golf Club outside of Washington, D.C. My name is Sam Otero, and let's see if we can get some folks to chat with us. It looks like everybody's ready to party. I think it might be the end of our interviews for the evening. Well, I'm going to go ahead and sign off. Thank you so much for tuning in. Remind you to please support independent broadcasts like this. Go to usanow.tv and subscribe. Click the subscribe button and the notification link on our YouTube channel. Of course, you can find us on all social media, Rumble and BitChute, Odyssey, all those things as well. So again, thanks so much for tuning in. My name is Sam Otero for everybody at the 5th Annual Loudoun County Conservative Gala. I'm Otero and I'm out. Enjoy.